Hello everybody and welcome to my video. Thank you as always for joining me. So today I want to talk about a topic that has been brought up numerous times over this past year that I've been making videos, and that is the question of what is the C7 depreciation going to be? How much is it going to be? What type of pricing am I going to be looking at when I go to buy a C7 once the C8 mid-engine Corvette starts production? So that is exactly what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to talk about depreciation. I hope you absolutely enjoy it, and remember, you're watching Full Throttle Drive. So first off, let's talk about depreciation. Depreciation is something that when you own a car is usually your biggest factor of expense, especially if you buy that car new and hold it for an extended period of time. Now, I've made a couple videos talking about this, and I talked about the depreciation hit that the person that owned my Audi R8 took. It was a massive hit. He paid almost $5 a mile just in depreciation. That was his cost per mile because his depreciation was so high. It was absolutely crazy. So it's a factor that you have to take into consideration. How much are you paying for depreciation once you sell that car? But on the flip side of that, when you are the buyer, when you are the person buying the used vehicle, that depreciation is something that you can account for as a discount for the price that you are going to pay. Now, there are several factors that affect the depreciation of a car, and usually that is how much mileage is on the car, and that will entail whether there's much warranty left or any left at all, as well as condition and usually the year. If it's an older car, obviously it's going to continue to depreciate. Now, a lot of research has been done on the Corvettes, and from what we've seen, they depreciate after 5 years at about 45% rate. So that means for every $100 you spend, usually $45 has been depreciated over a 5-year span. And then after that, we normally see a 5%-ish to 4% a year depreciation in the vehicle. Again, there are tons of factors that take into play, but this is a good rough estimate. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to test this theory and see just how accurate it was. So to test this theory, what I did is I went 10 years back, and that would have put us in the C6 production era. And I found a 2008 C6 Corvette, and at the time they MSRP'd at roughly $44,600. And with some options, it was easy to find a $46,000 C6 Corvette. Well, using our theory of 45% depreciation over 5 years, and then another 5% each year for the remaining 5 years, it would have gave us a baseline of roughly $19,000 to $20,000. So what I did is I went out and checked on cars.com, and I looked in that pricing range. And to be honest, it was fairly easy to find several good condition cars in that price range. I would say for the most part, most cars were a little bit over that value. Usually they were a little bit over the $20,000 mark, giving you the indication that they actually probably start to depreciate a little bit less each year than maybe that 5 to 4% mark. But I was able to find a couple in that $19,000 range, and I'm going to show you guys one here. I found a black on black C6 Corvette that had less than 100,000 miles on it by quite a bit, and it actually was in pretty good condition. It met all of the requirements, and it had a clean Carfax. So I feel like this is a good indication that the theory we are following is a good one. So the next part of the process that I did was I actually looked at the base MSRP for a 2014 C7 Stingray, and they started out at just a smidge under $52,000, but with a couple options it was easy to spec one out at closer to $55,000. So if we use our 45% decrease in depreciation, we can see that right around $30,000 should be our 5-year mark. Now, we haven't quite hit that. That will technically be in 2019, so we're getting close. But if we actually check online, you're starting to see the lowest priced C7 Stingrays at the lower 30,000 mark. You're seeing them 32 to 35, which is absolutely crazy. That is some amazing performance per dollar. Now, just for fun, I thought we would take a look at a Z06 that I found for sale, and it's a 2016 Z06. It does have the 1LZ, so it's not the 2LZ or 3LZ package, but it has a very cool look. It's the red over black trim, and I think this is a great indication of what we're seeing for pricing, $54,800. And again, it's just another great example, and it looks like it's in relatively good shape. I like that even though at this trim level it's pretty basic, you have just about everything you would need. One last thing is there are no accidents reported on this particular vehicle, so that's a really good thing to look at when you're looking at this type of pricing, because there are cars that are absolutely lower than the normal average, and usually that is an indication of possibly a salvaged vehicle. So the next step is to add a few extra years of depreciation on the vehicle, and again, I was saying that's 4 to 5%. One aspect that we do have to take into consideration is how well received that the C8 is. If it actually has a really good following and a lot of people want to switch to this incredible new platform, then the depreciation hit may be a little extra than that 4 to 5% mark per year. Or on the flip side, if it's not well received, depreciation may slow as people try to go and get used C7s while they're lower in price, and the C8 may not sell as well. But if we continue our average of 4 to 5% a year, you should absolutely be able to get a C7 base, maybe even a Z51 in the low 30,000, maybe even the higher 20,000 range if it has a little bit more mileage on it. And to add to this, look at the Z06 trim. We are now seeing Z06s that are actually priced at around 50 to 55,000. It's absolutely incredible. And add a few more years of depreciation on it, you may be able to find a Z06 trimmed C7 Stingray for the mid to high 40,000s. That's an absolute steal and a bargain for performance. Now again, as I said, there are tons of variables that go into this, but that being said, we're taking a pretty strong average that we've seen for a multi-generation length of Corvettes. And again, that average is a pretty good indicator of what we will see going into the future. Again, the platform change does throw a little bit of a wrench into this, but I think we will continue to see this average depreciation over time. Now, one last aspect I want to throw into this is the fact that we are seeing tons of excess inventory sitting on Chevrolet lots. We're seeing a ton of C7s that are not being sold. So again, this is another factor that may play into added depreciation into the C7. But at the end of the day, you can't deny the incredible performance that you get per dollar spent when you buy a C7 Corvette. Well guys, that completes my analysis of what we are going to see for depreciation over the next couple of years. Now you can continue to add on to that and take another 4, maybe 3% as you go past that 10-year mark to give you an idea of what you're going to look at for pricing for C7s, but they are truly becoming very attainable in price for a used one. And again, it's a great look if you're looking for a first sports car, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think it is a great depreciation measure I'm using, or do you guys have a disagreement? Again, I've gotten a lot of this information online from some really good sources, but that doesn't always indicate that the future will be the representation of the past. So again, let me know what you guys think. I love hearing from you guys, conversing with you all. If you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. I would truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that bell notification to get all of my latest videos when they come out. And if you're not already a subscriber, please think about hitting that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you in our community. And as always, you guys take care. I'll see you next video.